Okay, so we're going to review significant figures. We went over the rules in class. You have the rules in your notebook. As we try these examples, if you forget about a rule or you don't understand it as I'm going over it, read through your rules in your notebook. Okay, so I'll refer to them as we go along, but you have them in your notebook if you need them. It says determine the number of significant figures in the following numbers. So the first number, it's 0.02. Okay, there's two rules that we're going to look at in this problem. Okay, first rule, all non-zero numbers are always significant. So we have one significant figure there. Leading zeros, which are these, leading zeros are never significant. So the leading zeros here are not significant. Okay, they're just there to hold a place. They're like placeholder zeros. So this problem, we have one significant figure. One sig fig. One significant figure. Question 2. Okay, 0.020. Okay, now in this problem we have three rules that we're going to use to find the significant figures. Okay, we have leading zeros like we did in the first problem. Leading zeros are never significant. We have the non-zero number, which is significant, so we'll check that off. And this last zero is called a trailing zero. Trailing zeros are only significant when there's a decimal point, and we do have a decimal point. So this number has two significant figures. Next example. Okay, this number 501. Two rules apply to this. You have your non-zero numbers, which are always significant. And this middle zero is called a captive zero. Captive zeros are always trapped between non-zero numbers. Captive zeros are always significant. So that one's good too. We have three significant figures. Problem number 4. Okay, 501.0. So Ken, the non-zero numbers are significant. Check those off right away. Okay, remember captive zeros are always significant, as in example 3. And then that trailing zero is only significant when there's a decimal, and there is a decimal. So 4 significant figures. Okay, next example, 5,000. Here we have our non-zero number, which is significant. And then we have 3 trailing zeros, but there's no decimal point, so those trailing zeros are not significant. We have one significant figure, one sig fig. Okay, so that's the first 5. I'll give you guys a few minutes to try 6 through 10, and then we'll go over them. Okay, let's continue with 6 through 10. So, number 6. Again, we have 5,000. This time we have a decimal point. So our non-zero number is significant, because they always are. And then our trailing zeros, this time there's a decimal, so they are significant. So now we have 4 significant figures. Okay, question 7. 6,051.00. All right, we have several of the rules working here. We have our non-zero integers, which are always significant. We have our captive zero, which is always significant. And we have our trailing zeros, which are significant because there's a decimal point. So they're all significant. 6 Sig Figs. Done. Next one. So we have a bunch of leading zeros. Remember, leading zeros are never significant. So, no. There's a decimal point there, but it doesn't matter because we don't have trailing zeros. And then this non-zero integer is significant, because they always are, one significant figure. Okay. Example 9. Again, several different rules working here. We have our non-zero integers, which are significant. Captive 0, 0 is significant. Our leading zeros are never. The trailing zeros are if there's a decimal. There is a decimal. So, 4 Sig Figs. Okay, last example. 10,001. Two rules working here. Non-zero integers, which are significant. And then these are captive zeros. And captive zeros are always significant. So, 5 Sig Figs. Alright, I hope this helps. And hopefully this helps you with your homework and just learning to identify significant figures in general. See you next time.